I keep getting ghosted and I can't understand why. It's been almost 5 years I ended my last relationship and it took me some time to recover from it. But last year I finally felt prepared to maybe try again. I have tried several times and now the fourth. For some reason I don't seem to realize. I keep getting ghosted. So I am going to talk about this last one. I, 24M, met this girl, 19F, about 2/3 of a week ago. We started talking and went on a first date about a week and a half ago. Everything went really well and it was a pleasant and fun. After that we kept talking and went on a second date. The second date, 27/09. We had a dinner and thing also went really well. It was fun and entertaining to have her around and I felt she was having a good time. At the end of the date we were sitting in a bench near the river at night, and it started getting cold. I put my hand on her shoulder and she cuddled and we stayed like that for a bit. After that it was getting a bit late and it was time to leave. We went back to our cars, hugged, and before saying goodbye we had a big hug and some cheek kisses. And we went our ways. But I think she wanted a real kiss, but I thought it was better not to go that fast. I didn't see the parking lot as the suitable place for the first kiss, nor was I ready for that. Yet, right the next day she almost stops responding to me. The answers I got were really cold, like nothing. Before I tried to ask what was wrong but didn't get an answer, and I tried to talk about it with her and she said I don't think I am ready for a relationship. Right now she is outright ignoring me. I don't understand why this keeps happening to me and what I am doing wrong, and it is really hard for me to keep getting this result when I start to like that person and get ghosted. I hope somebody can help me because I am nearly done with this. Pensive face. Thank you for your time. Edit. Hello everyone. Again, thank you for your feedback and honesty. I have read a lot of comments going right at the age gap. To make one thing clear, she was the one that started the thing and we had our ages clear way before the first date. So I really don't understand where it is creepy. I don't think I have done anything wrong. And where I'm from, high school finishes when people are about 17-18, and she is attending to university right now. So after everything I have read, I have realized some things that I think are really important and I was not aware of them. Relating to the definition of ghosting, I might have had that wrong, and if I put it in the right meaning I would say I was rejected 2 times. And ghosted 2. Not counting this experience as a ghost because it was not like you guys said about anxiety. It was a problem that started when I ended my first and last relationship that lasted 3 years. It was a big problem for me and I have been working on it for the last 4/5 of a year, and last year I felt I needed to face more interactions to finally overcome what is left of it and stop being hidden behind a wall. Finally, yes. It was not very logical of me to assume that at that age she would be looking for something serious. That is my bad. But it was the first time dealing with someone younger than me, since my other dates were 2 older and 1 same age. So after all this I really think I should put an effort and try even more dates and meet more people. That way I will gain the experience I need and overcome the fears I might have dealing with people. I want to again appreciate to you all for your time and words, because it helped me change the way I view dating and understanding the way some people say no. It took some weight out of my chest sharing and learning with you guys. Thank you, and I hope the world retributes the help you give to others like I will try to help people where I can. She didn't ghost you. She rejected you. She told you she didn't want a relationship and then stopped talking to you. Ghosting is when someone just stops talking to you with no explanation or warning. She didn't ghost you, she said no. This is not ghosting. It sounds like she's just not interested in you. And that happens sometimes. Most people you go on first dates with will not be the right fit for you. And if you find yourself wanting to continue with every person you go on a date with, you're probably not being picky enough. You said this was the 4th time in a row. I think we would need to know a little about what happened the other 3 times. This particular instance wasn't ghosting. She did tell you she wasn't ready for a relationship. If the other 3 times were similar, then you haven't been ghosted at all. And you've just run into people that lost interest. This can happen for so many reasons. It could be something you're doing or saying, but it could also easily just be the luck of the draw. If you're looking for a serious relationship, you should expect a lot of first and second dates that don't go anywhere. You want a really good match. So it's normal to go through a lot of maybes before you find it. In any case, I say honesty is the best policy. If you can reconcile this as a learning experience and not let it become a confidence issue or feel self-pity over it, then I think you could briefly explain the situation to a potential match and let them know that you're open to feedback and looking to improve. If done correctly, that may make them feel comfortable telling you if you are doing something to put them off, without coming off as desperate or anything. That doesn't sound like being ghosted but rather rejected. I don't think the average teenager is looking for a serious relationship. So maybe change your age filters. But not ghosting. No, sure, what happened the other 3 times? 1. This is not ghosting. 2. She simply told you she wasn't ready. You weren't either, or you would have kissed her. 3. It is normal to go through a few dates with different people until it works. So don't give up. Maybe tell the person right away you are anxious. Then you can work it out. If you want a serious relationship, this shouldn't be an obstacle to be open before meeting up. That's rejection, not ghosting. If you're looking for a relationship and not just a fling, you're probably not going to find it dating a 19-year-old. The difference, even just in terms of perspective and maturity levels, are very different between 19 and 24. I dated a 20-year-old when I was 24, and the differences between what we were looking for and the stage we were at was pretty insurmountable, and things ended very quickly. This is just how dating works, dude. Everyone's just looking to find someone they like. And you've got to try not to take it personally. Sometimes you click with someone but they don't click back. It's usually not something you've done wrong. It's just chemistry and compatibility. You're going to have a lot of times that you just don't mesh well with someone, and that's literally the whole point of going on a date. The vast majority of the world don't find their next soulmate on their first few ventures into dating. In my opinion, you got rejected this time because you seem to be putting too much importance on being and appearing to be a gentleman. Hugs and kisses on the cheek are not what a 19-year-old woman wants at the end of the second date. The girl wants some chemistry, passion. You two had none. Do you have an ideal image for a first kiss? Don't. It has to be organic. Sounds like you rejected her kiss and she then rejected you. It isn't really ghosting. NGL. Most women at that age don't really think too seriously about relationships. Think about it. You're barely 20. The whole world's your oyster. All that potential for life experience and achievement. Are you gonna start thinking about settling down right away? She probably just wanted to have some fun instead. It's fun to date. Date someone more your age and you'll have an easier time finding people who want to date. Plus, take it easy, man. You're 24. There's no rush. Better this than have someone lead you on, is all I'm saying. On this one, she's 19. You're 24. Not a good fit. When you're 31, dating a 26-year-old should be fine. At this point, she's basically in a high school mindset. Have you tried dating slightly older women? 25, 30? The first thing you have to do is stop thinking of 12 date attempts that didn't work out as failures. or even as getting dumped. With online dating specifically. But even with people you meet in the wild now, those first 13 dates are for you to decide if you want to date. It's you getting to know the person, which you need to do before you can even decide whether or not you want to date them. If you get hung up on every single person you meet where you give getting to know each other a shot, you're going to forever be making yourself crazy over not nailing something the first time, which is supposed to be a numbers game. You're supposed to go out and meet a lot of people, talk to them, flirt with them, get to know them, and then from that process you will eventually find the person with whom you mesh, and that will be the person you actually date. Look at it from the same perspective as how you make friends. You go to high school or college, and you have 20-something people per class, and 48 classes per week with some degree of overlap. So it could be almost 100 classmates you meet and have occasion to talk to. Then you add everyone who is in any sport you play, any extracurricular, any club you join. Then you add neighbors you talk to in passing. And when you go to work you talk to a number of different coworkers. So let's say that within the last few years of your life, you have had occasion to talk to, be generally friendly with 150,200 people. How many of those do you actually consider your friends? Are you lamenting dozens of failed friendships because you never convinced them to be your friend? Do you feel massively rejected as a human being if you end up working with someone for a week on a project, and then they never reach out to you afterwards because you just didn't mesh as friends? Find someone your own age. First of all, not every first or second date is gonna turn into a long-term relationship. Dating is a process. Don't take it too seriously. Have fun and use it as an opportunity to meet new people and have a good time. I don't think you're getting ghosted. She just doesn't seem interested in pursuing things further, and that's okay. I know it's hard not to take personally, but rejection very often isn't personal. She's not ready. Nothing wrong with you. 1. You didn't get ghosted. She told you that she wasn't ready for a relationship. 2. You're in your mid-20s. So it's time to start dating women closer to your own age and stage of life. 19-yo people are generally going to be more flaky and undecided about what they want. Mid-20s is generally when people figure out who that are as adults. At the very least, you need to stop trying to force a relationship with someone in that 18-22-yo range and rather take any matches or interest you get from someone in that age range with a big grain of salt. That chances of romantic compatibility are low. 3. Dating and looking for a match is tough. Rather than doing a bunch of hand-wringing about why you're getting ghosted, rejected, focus as more energy into investing in yourself so you find yourself someone who is a catch. Focus on the things you can control and don't worry about the things you can't. 4. Ask a trusted friend, family member, someone who you think is successful at relationships, for feedback on things you can do. We don't know you and your peccadillos, but the people close to you do, and they can give you better specific advice than we ever could give you. I'm not saying you need to become someone else, but if your nails are perpetually dirty, or something else that you think is doable, that's something to work on. It's you. Up. Social cues are a thing. Read the room. A day or so of being less responsive could mean anything. She's working. She's hanging with family or friends. She's not feeling well. She's going through something. Beyond that, if the messages are cold, it's time to say, hey, I really enjoyed hanging out with you, but we don't seem to be clicking. All the best, and mean it. This is why you go on dates. To see if you want more dates, a relationship. It's a little like a job interview. The candidate either wants the job or they don't. The company either wants the candidate or they don't. Either party is free to say no or stop the interview process at any time. If she's outright ignoring you, for fuck's sake stop contacting her. She's already used her real English words to say she isn't interested. Why are you continuing to contact her? She's ignoring you because she's given her decision. She's ignoring you because she's not interested. You are now harassing her. It's something you're doing if this is the repeating pattern. Example. Someone I knew set me up with his sister's friend. Ben told me a little about him. Maybe not my type, but I figured I'd give him a chance. Woo boy. Dude peppered me with questions before the date could even happen. Do I like this? Do I like that? How do I feel about this? What's my stance on that? He asked my favorite color and I said IDK I have a few. Royal purple I guess? He showed up to our first date with a dozen white roses airbrushed purple. The date happened. It was, if we start dating how do you feel about? If we start dating I'd want this. If we start dating I hope we would. If we start dating I wouldn't want to. Ben. My brother in Christ, this is not how you get to know someone. At the time I'd been going through some personal issues and this guy was just stressing me out more. Next time he called I explained it wasn't going to work. No excuses and no, right nows. Just, I don't want to go out again. He asked why. Can I be honest? Sure. Ben. I'm having some personal issues right now which of course aren't anything of your responsibility. But they are a stress in my life and weighing on my time and emotions. Deep breath. I couldn't handle all your questions and expectations. It was like you had our whole relationship mapped out on a first date. We are strangers. That's not reasonable. And you can't get to know all about me all at once. I left the date feeling interrogated instead of that you like me and were interested in me. On top of the things going on in my life I can't have that. I couldn't even have that at all even if everything was perfect right now. It's stressful. His reply. This always happens to me. Every date I have. IDK what women want or what's wrong with me. Let me be there for you. I'm a good listener. I can bring some food over. We can watch a movie. Ben. I told you I don't want to see you again. And I told you why. He called in tears for the next 2 weeks. I hung up on him every time. How was continuing to hound me after I'd already said no supposed to make me interested? She said no. It was 2 dates. Move on. A mouth kiss on a second date is not out of line. Perhaps she felt offended that it was not forthcoming? As everyone said this wasn't ghosting. She said to you, I'm not ready for a relationship. That's an answer and she probably feels that. You want one and she can't give that to you so she saved you the hassle. Is it possible you're not quite ready yet? People can sense when you're not emotionally available. If you're still courted and protecting yourself, it could be preventing you from being available.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.